Okay, so we should be live now. Rather late on this Monday, but it is okay. I've had a number of personal things to do slash technical issues the past half hour. I had a bunch of weird artifacting going on and restarted the system just to be safe to make sure we don't end up um going, the live, making sure the live doesn't end when I don't want it to. Today we're going to be doing something very different. I have decided that since I have the privilege of having a very new platform that I am building, a very small platform that I am building, I will be speaking on anything and everything that I want. I will be attempting to help many of my fellow Americans understand what is going on and hopefully give many of you a space where you feel that you can find the peaceful, safe, and appropriate things to be doing as we continue on in these extremely unprecedented and unexpected times. So to start here, I have it already playing, but it's muted. We have currently happening right now the Senate confirmation hearing for RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, and Kash Patel. Um, Basically, to sum up a little briefly my opinion, RFK is pretty much the only person around Trump that I have any support for. He was someone who I was hoping to vote for president this past year, but that did not happen. Time will tell if I end up being a supporter of Elon Musk or not. I and many other Americans have many concerns with what he has been doing and believe that it is the purpose, that is the duty for our judicial system to investigate and make sure that the things he is doing is not illegal, treasonous, or potentially enacting of a coup. So let's listen here to what RFK
And
is saying in his
77
presentation.
Americans
Let's tune in
delivered
and
a
get caught up.
mandate to him to do just that, due in part to the embrace and elevation of the Make America Healthy Again movement. This movement, led largely by Maha moms from every state, and you can see many of them behind us today, and in the hallways and in the lobbies, is one of the most transcendent and powerful movements I've ever seen. I promised President Trump that if confirmed, I will do everything in my power to put the health of Americans back on track. And I've been greatly heartened to discover a deep level of care among members of this committee, too, both Democrats and Republicans. I came away from our conversations confident that we can put aside our divisions for the sake of a healthier America. For a long time, the nation has been locked in a divisive healthcare debate about who pays. Well, when healthcare costs reach 20%, there are no good options, only bad ones. Shifting the burden around.
In the background, I will be doing just some loadout setup on Destiny. I want to take and import some things from DIM today in case there are any issues with DIM over the next couple days.
If we don't change the course and ask why are healthcare costs so high in the first place? The obvious answer is chronic disease. The CDC says 90% of healthcare spending goes toward managing chronic disease, which hits lower income Americans the hardest. The president's pledge is not to make some Americans happy again, healthy again, but to make all of our people healthy again. There is no single culprit in chronic disease. Much as I have criticized certain industries and agencies, President Trump and I understand that most of their scientists and experts genuinely care about American health. Therefore, we will bring together all stakeholders in pursuit of this unifying goal. Before I conclude, I want to make sure the committee is clear about a few things. News reports have claimed that I am anti-vaccine or anti-industry. I am neither. I am pro-safety.
We'll have order. Please proceed, Mr. Kennedy.
I
Man, I'm glad we're watching this now.
For years to
That's the type of shit I don't want to miss. It's the wrong place. It's the wrong place to be doing that.
And I believe that
We are civilized. We have order, we have process.
in healthcare. All of my kids are vaccinated. I've written many books on vaccines. My first book in 2014, the first line of it is I am not anti-vaccine, and the last line is I am not anti-vaccine. Nor am I the enemy of food producers.
I will mute the Elgato input for now.
Of our politics, of our national security. I was a 4-H kid, and I spent my summer working on ranches. I went to work with our farmers. I want to work with our farmers and food producers to remove burdensome regulations and unleash American ingenuity. MAHA simply cannot succeed without a partnership, a full partnership.
I can't believe we got that. I can't believe we got to witness that.
Often disturb the status quo by asking uncomfortable questions. Well, I'm not going to apologize for that. We have massive health problems in this country that we must face.
We do.
Honestly.
I am one of the Americans very, very affected by what is being discussed right now. What's up, Hans? I apologize if the content today is not up your alley, but I am taking the opportunity. Hold on a second. I'm taking the opportunity while my platform is extremely small to share the things I want to share, tune into the things I want to share, and hopefully give my fellow Americans a place where, you know, they can feel like they can discuss these things without being threatened or whatever. Plus, the person specifically speaking right now, RFK, I'm an American who his initiative and the things he'll be doing in the Trump administration affects me very directly. I'm a low income uninsured American. Like this almost directly affects me. It's, you know.
Financial conflicts of interest from our agencies. We will create an honest, unbiased, gold standard science at HHS, accountable to the president.
I did not mean for that to happen. That was supposed to be over here. So, what you might have just missed, there was someone trying to cause a disruption on the Senate floor, which, in my opinion, should never be allowed. I don't know why this is cutting around like it is, but I might have to just find C-SPAN. I assume C-SPAN has this live today. No, they don't. I'm surprised C-SPAN isn't live covering this today. But I'm trying to figure out when this actually happened, because YouTube Live is confusing me today with what's going on, because they have all these things being stated here as live. CNN News 18 being started streaming 3 hours ago, but like these things seem like playbacks. Damn, it's warm today. I need water. I put on a long sleeve shirt when it's the warmest day it's been in weeks. Sweaty PvP. No. Where are my speaker loadouts? There it is.
We knew how to do things in the 70s and 80s, the Indian way, but we would soon learn the American way. These values have shaped and been the driving force of my career in 16 years of government service. Protecting the rights of the Constitution is of the utmost importance to me and has been every single time I've taken that oath of office. The recent terrorist attacks in New Orleans tragically claimed the lives of 14.
My weekend was pretty good, Ons. Thanks. We yesterday was just family dinner day. I apologize if there's any noise in the background. It seems like there's some trees being cut down. My weekend was good, but a lot of events that happened over the weekend are the reason like I'm doing what I'm doing today. As many people are just scared and concerned. Oh, good. Yeah, that means NVIDIA Broadcast is doing its job. If you can't hear the noise, then so that's good.
Never make a prosecutorial decision that is solely the providence of the Department of Justice and the Attorney General.
I will probably do some Pokemon TCG at some point. I have Destiny up in the background because I'm getting loadouts imported into the game from a an app called Destiny Item Manager. Did you do anything fun though? Like anything special over the weekends? I didn't do anything special this weekend. Just a normal weekend.
Republic fails. But I battled on that hill for that due process. I would later serve in the Obama Justice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play. I'm not actually gonna be playing D2. I'm just typically when there are new releases, there are issues with some of like the third-party tools for like moving gear across characters. So I'm just trying to get some loadouts set up because this weekend there is a contest happening.
74 innocent people, including an American. I would also receive the Human Intelligence Award from the intelligence community for related work on that mission. My experiences at the National Security Division and would later be followed by my experiences on the National Security Council as Senior Director for Counterterrorism, and later as the Deputy Director of National Intelligence responsible for the production, creation, and promulgation of the Presidential Daily Briefing, our nation's most sensitive classified information and secrets to protect our country.
It wasn't as rainy here as I expected, but it's getting a little warmer. It's not like too warm, but it's warmer than I was expecting to be wearing a sweater. I almost put on a suit today, but I couldn't sleep last night, so I didn't get up early enough.
By members of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That misconduct eroded the public trust in our FBI. The erosion of trust, as Chairman Grassley pointed out, is all too low today. 40% of Americans have trust in the FBI. In order to get it back, there's a twofold track, Senator. One, violent crime is exploding in this country, and we cannot afford them to allow it to run away. We must tackle violent crime. Just in 2023 alone.
Nah, is it summer where you are? It's the middle of winter here.
17,000 homicides. The priority of the FBI, if I'm confirmed, will be to ensure that our communities are protected and safeguarded, and our children have parks to play in and not needles to walk over.
That's the wrong loadout, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to import this.
We let law enforcement, and we provide them with the tools necessary and resources they need to get after violent crime. The second way we do this on equal track is aggressive constitutional oversight from Congress. The public trust can only be restored if there is full transparency.
I think last summer was a really nice one around here. We had some heat for sure, like some heat waves, but it was a pretty nice summer last summer.
That will not occur if I am confirmed. All appropriate requests for information will be responded to expeditiously and fully. I'm committed to working alongside the dedicated men and women of the FBI. They are warriors of justice, and I will always have their backs because they have the backs of the American people. I look forward to answering your questions, and I want to take a moment to thank my family, my friends, people who traveled here, and my entire team that has made this day possible. God bless America, and I look forward to your questions.
Senator Blumenthal. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Mr. Patel. Thank you for being here. And thank you for visiting with me in my office at almost exactly the moment that you were talking to me. The Department of Justice was firing more than a dozen lawyers who worked with the special counsel, Jack Smith, simply because they were involved in that case. You've committed that the FBI will not be politicized. So here's your first test. Will you commit that you will not tolerate the firing of the FBI agents who worked with the special counsel's office on these investigations?
Senator, I appreciate the time to visit with you.
It
in
is
your
a
office.
yes or no answer, and it is your first test.
Senator, every FBI employee will be held to the absolute same standard, and no one will be terminated for case
And
assignments.
I'm not going to accept that answer, because if you can't commit that those FBI agents will be protected from political retribution, we can't accept you as FBI director.
All FBI employees will be protected against political
They deserve, those individuals deserve to be protected from Trump retribution. That was your first test. You failed it.
Prepare my snacks, go to the bakery, and get something for tomorrow. See, what are you thinking about getting though?
Of professional diligence, because it is the measure of whether you will stand up and say no to the president.
I
if he gives you an unlawful
Class
or
it.
illegal order. Let me turn to
Yeah.
the J6 choir. You know who the J6 prison choir
I have one of my very close friends who I talk to most days in
knows
Discord
about the song.
is going to school to be an engineer, and it's
Produced
actually today is his worst day of the week. He has to he has to basically spend 3 hours at school, like doing work, figuring out how to pass time because it's not quite enough time for him to go home.
support for the political prisoners still locked in
I printed out a recipe over the weekend
choir.
for some really
Prisoner?
good looking
That's what you said.
cinnamon rolls.
That's not how I do it.
This is your
Maybe next week we do our first cooking stream.
Well,
You
I'm
won't
reading it
stand
now.
behind your own statements made in tweets, countless of them. As a matter of fact, as you put it to Steve Bannon on his show, then we went into a studio and recorded it, mastered it, digitized it, and put it as a song, now releasing it exclusively in the War Room. That was the J6 prison choir song.
And all proceeds were given away to charity to help
And
families
you
in
called
need.
them political prisoners. Julian Cater.
I like how this guy failed his first test from this guy. I don't remember whether this senator or committee member is a Republican or not, but he's really doing his due diligence. This isn't his first rodeo, obviously.
Now you don't know who he is. You glorified him and the rest of that choir. He's the one who sprayed U.S. Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick.
Oh, this already has Ember Benevolence on it. Okay.
Officer Sicknick died the next day. Cater admitted his violence. He pleaded guilty to assaulting political assaulting a political officer, a police officer. Do you believe that Julian Cater was a political prisoner?
Senator, I'm not familiar with this case. You seem to know a lot more about it than I do. And as I've said repeatedly, I will always utilize my resources to help Americans in need, which is what I was trying to do here. And I have never once advocated for political violence or violence against law enforcement.
Ryan Nichols. Ryan Nichols also pleaded guilty to assaulting a police officer. He was one of the J6 choir. He pushed the crowd against officers defending a door to the Capitol and sprayed officers with pepper spray. Is Ryan Nichols a political prisoner?
Same answer, Senator.
How about Jordan Mink, another member of the J6 choir?
I don't know who he is.
James McGrew, a political prisoner?
I don't know who that is.
James McGrew pushed and struck officers and launched a handrail toward them. And you glorified him. You promoted and produced
As a regular person watching this, he's cooking them right now.
for them.
Like,
You now want us to believe you don't know who they are.
No part of that song or anything I've done in my 16 years of government service glorifies or advocates for violence against law enforcement. And the fact that you would be willing to say that in front of these people in the American audience shows how much of a divide we actually have to to restore a law enforcement that is constitutionally based, de-weaponized, and depoliticized. You have my commitment to do that. In your office, we had a lot of common ground. I'm committed to working with you on things like Section 230 and making sure the citizens of Connecticut aren't.
Yeah, I don't like this guy.
I welcome your statement, Mr. Patel, but it doesn't answer my question, and it doesn't go to your credibility in denying you know who these people are after, and I have to say, in this tweet and in others, I have a raft of them. I'm going to ask the chairman that they be made a part of the record, if there's no objection.
Without objection.
You glorified, you promoted, you supported these individuals. Ronald Sadlin, he struck an officer in the head, hand, and shoulders, and grabbed another
Oh,
officer.
this can go in the vault.
Is he a political prisoner?
Don't know who that is, Senator.
Well,
That's not the right answer.
the simple fact is that you knew about the J6 choir. You knew what they did in assault.
That sounds so delicious right now.
Police officers.
Potato bread filled with cheese or ham.
The Capitol on that day were severely.
That sounds delicious right now.
As a consequence, died.
Instead of having lunch, I was fixing some weird artifacting issue that was going on. Caused me to have to restart and set things back up again before going live.
Worked with them as United States Attorney for 4.5 years, and then as Attorney General off and on for 20 years. I've admired them for the 14 years that I've been in this body. I think they deserve better. Thank you.
Statement that he has up does say without trial, and I think that plays some role in the context of that statement. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, welcome. Let me first of all say thank you. Thank you for saying yes when President Trump asked you to serve in this role. I think there are very few roles in all of government that are more important than Director of the FBI, and there are very few roles in all of government that are more in need.
That's okay. I mean, who cares if you'll eat it tomorrow? Either way, you're having the delicious thing. I think that's literally the only loadouts I had to import. Because I think my other loadouts that I want already here.
And of the Department of Justice is one of the most tragic developments of the last 4 years.
Want to also prepare mashed eggs. There you go. That's a meal I'd be looking forward to all night or all morning if it was lunch. Like, yeah, fair enough. Don't send any pictures since I'm currently hungry already. All right. I should have Sanguine ready. I have this.
Was the complete politicization and weaponization of both the Department of Justice and the FBI, turning them into tools to attack the perceived enemies of the Biden White House. Now,
The mashed eggs, at least my initial thought is like I'm thinking of like egg salad,
that is not going to be
but
an easy
probably just better seasoned.
Before you can carry out that task, and I am confident you will be confirmed and you will be in the position to carry out that task, you've got to make it through the gauntlet of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And my colleagues on the Democrat side of the aisle, who I don't know how many spots on Senator Tillis's bingo card have been filled, but it looks like he's playing blackout and they're all filled right now. But you will be and have been accused of just about everything they can, but I want to focus on what several Democrats.
Oh, I don't have Discord open.
Which is trying
Chapo.
to blame you for the violence that occurred on January 6th.
Bacon? Oh, you had me at bacon. You had me at bacon.
Ridiculous attacks. This one really takes the cake. So let's just focus on some facts. Let me ask you a question. What role did you occupy in the days immediately before January 6th?
Chief of Staff of the Department of Defense.
You were the Chief of Staff at the Department of Defense.
Yes, sir.
So to be clear, you were not rioting at the Capitol.
No, sir.
Where were you physically on were you doing on that day?
On that day specifically, responding to preparing to mobilize the National Guard once we got the lawful request from the local governing authority, which was the mayor of DC.
Now, how many days in advance were you working to prepare the Department of Defense to help secure the Capitol on January 6th?
Days in advance, Senator, we were in the Oval Office on an unrelated national security matter with the President of the United States, the Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and myself. And the President authorized up to 20,000 plus National Guardsmen and women to secure any security measures necessary related to the Capitol. So we were moving to the fullest extent of the law before the requisite request came from the local governing authority days ahead of time.
And while you were chief of staff, how many times did DOD approach Capitol Police and ask if they needed?
So it's like a fried egg salad.
I believe those
Not because
letters
like I'm, or not even a salad, like a
instances,
mash. Because I'm thinking like hard boiled egg
they were
salad.
requests were shut down.
But if they're fried eggs, I mean that's even better. I like fried eggs a lot more than hard boiled.
That's correct, Senator.
Who did the Sergeant at Arms report to?
The Speaker of the House.
That would have been Nancy Pelosi at the time. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator.
And would that also be Chuck Schumer, then the Senate Majority Leader?
The Sergeant at Arms, yes, Senator, reports up there.
Did Mayor Bowser?
I mean, all it takes is a little. It's not like you know. My dad, he overdoes it with garlic. Like it would be just too much garlic sometimes.
On the days leading up to January 6th, a declination for National Guard additional support. And that letter is available publicly to the world.
And just to speak English.
I don't know what I just
He said,
said.
no, don't send National Guard. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did that
Let me
package
ask you a
show up
simple
yet?
question, because
Yes,
we're
it did.
questioning from my Democratic
All right, I'll be right
colleagues.
back. I have to go just bring a package in right fast since I was
Against law enforcement.
asked to. I'm gonna get water as well.
And by the way, is that true whether the violence is right wing or left wing or anywhere else?
There is no discriminating between types of violence against law enforcement.
And do you believe those who assault and commit violence against law enforcement should be prosecuted and should be sent to jail?
Especially those that kill them.
Let me ask you, how many years have you worked in public service?
About 16, Senator.
And how many years have you worked in particular in law enforcement and prosecution and national security?
Over a decade, Senator.
You know, I have to say it is ludicrous but sadly predictable that Democrats are endeavoring to tarnish you, to paint a false caricature based on innuendo and smoke. And so you're working to protect the Capitol on January 6th, and yet they're trying to blame you for the violence that occurred. Let me ask you this just as a straightforward matter. What is the job of the FBI? And what will the FBI's role be if and when you are confirmed as its director?
The simple motto on the website of the FBI's homepage is to protect American citizens and uphold the Constitution. If I am confirmed as the next director of the FBI, that's what we're going to do and redirect resources to making sure that occurs every single day.
Thank you for your willingness to do so, and this committee will hold you to account on restoring integrity at the FBI, and I thank you also for your commitment to transparency. I think that is incredibly important to bringing back integrity, and I'm grateful for it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm back.
Mr. Patel, in the first round of questioning, you and I talked about
I need a haircut.
politicization and weaponization of the FBI and the Department
It's
of
getting
Justice.
so unruly.
That has significant negative consequences in terms of undermining trust in the FBI and the Department of Justice and abusing the power of the FBI and the Department of Justice. But it also has consequences in that it diverts resources at the FBI and DOJ from urgent law enforcement and national security priorities. I will tell you, when I go back home, I am somewhat regularly asked by Texans, should we abolish the FBI? Now, my answer to that is an emphatic no. The FBI has a critical mission of stopping bad guys, whether serial killers or human traffickers or child molesters or terrorists. but it says something that a sizable percentage of America has so lost faith in the Bureau that they believe it should be shut down. I think allowing the FBI to be politicized has resulted in far too little attention being placed on very serious national security risks that we face right now, including for the last 4 years. As a result of the open borders that we've had, over 12 million illegal immigrants have come into this country. And I believe as a consequence of that, we face a greater risk today.
They're going to town with that chainsaw out there.
We have at any
Good
time
lord.
since September 11th, 2001. You have well over a decade of experience in national security and law enforcement. In your judgment, do you agree with me as to the magnitude of the threat we face right now of a potential terrorist attack?
It's as high as I've ever seen it, Senator.
And describe to this committee what the FBI
Safe travels. Safe travels, Hale. Safe travels.
future terrorist attacks.
Working hand in glove with our intelligence community and obtaining information that directly relates to the FBI's criminal mandate on an intelligence basis and thwarting and prosecuting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sanguine.
Any terrorist attacks here.
We're gonna go
and
sanguine.
homegrown activities abroad that are directed at the United States of America, along with countermanding the CCP espionage rings in this country, which dovetail with the foreign terrorist organization activity.
Does it concern you that Customs and Border Patrol in the previous administration instructed Border Patrol agents in particular to be on the lookout for Hamas or Hezbollah or Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists crossing our southern border? Does that concern you as a risk to Americans across the country?
That, along with the fact that the prior Homeland Secretary and the prior FBI director testified to Congress that there are dozens of known foreign terrorist affiliates in the United States of America, and they don't know where they are.
And it will be your priority to stop them, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm honored and grateful to President Trump for his trust and confidence in nominating me to serve our country as the Director of National Intelligence at a time when trust in the intelligence community, unfortunately, is at an all-time low. Chuck Schumer admitted a few years ago, quote, "You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you." For too long,
At least YouTube I can trust to just browse to find stuff to show. Like, I can't just scroll Twitter
of our national security and God-given freedoms enshrined in the Constitution.
to find stuff to show. Like, I have to do that.
One of these
Are they showing this again?
based upon a total fabrication or complete failure of intelligence.
To FBI agents across the country who were involved potentially in the investigation. Do you believe anyone involved at any level should be fired, sir?
Well, I think the FBI was a very corrupt institution, and I'm
Yeah, that is a repeat. Is this all? Like, is this also this that I'm watching?
Other Islamist jihadist groups and strengthening Iran. Here are just a few other examples. The American people elected Donald Trump as their president not once but twice. And yet the
Why is it so hard to find what's actually live and happening right now on YouTube? Like, this sucks.
and falsely portray him as a puppet of Putin. Title I of FISA was used illegally to obtain a warrant to spy on Trump campaign advisor Carter Page using a Clinton campaign-funded false dossier.
Wait, what is this?
called evidence. Biden campaign advisor Tony Blinken was the impetus for the 51 former senior intelligence officials' letter dismissing Hunter Biden's laptop as disinformation specifically to help Biden win the election. Former DNI James Clapper lied to this committee in 2013, denying the existence of programs that facilitated the mass collection of millions of Americans' phone and internet records, yet was never held accountable. Under John Brennan's leadership, the CIA abused its power to spy on Congress, to dodge oversight, lied about doing it until he was caught, and yet has never been held responsible. Under Biden, the FBI abused its power for political reasons to try to surveil Catholics who attend traditional Latin Mass, labeling them as quote-unquote radical traditionalist Catholics. Personally, just 24 hours after I criticized Kamala Harris and her nomination, I was placed on a secret domestic terror watch list called Quiet Skies. Sadly, there are more.
We should be concerned about these evangelical nationalists.
President Trump's re-election
what they don't realize is that people are starting to catch on. People are starting to realize that many of these evangelicals are directly trying to bring about the prophecies they believe in. They're making all of their decisions based around their religion in a country that is based entirely on the separation of church and state. Something that cannot be allowed to ever happen. But yet they are actively making decisions in hopes that it will bring about their prophecies and their end times.
I'll begin by leading by example, checking my own personal views at the door, and committing to delivering intelligence.
No, you won't. You're not going to check your own personal views at the door.
Without bias, prejudice, or political influence. I enlisted in the Army because of the horrific terrorist attack on September 11th, and volunteered to deploy to Iraq in 2005, where I served in a medical unit. After nearly 22 years in uniform with 3 combat deployments to the Middle East and Africa, I'm now a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, where I serve as a battalion commander of soldiers in Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas. I served in Congress for 8 years on the Homeland Security, Foreign Affairs, and Armed Services committees. And it's my experience in the military and in the halls of Congress that have given me a deep understanding of the complex challenges that our nation faces. In both roles, engaging with world leaders, in both roles, being privy to highly classified intelligence. So I know firsthand how essential accurate, unbiased, and timely intelligence is to the President, to Congress, and to our warfighters. I also know the heavy cost of intelligence failures and abuses. Senator Collins, you led the creation of ODNI specifically to address those intelligence failures of 9/11 and Iraq's so-called WMDs. The need for the ODNI under strong leadership still exists today. If confirmed, I'll bring my experience and fresh eyes to leading the intelligence community. And my day one priorities will be to assess the global threat environment, identify where gaps in our intelligence exist, integrate intelligence elements, increase information sharing, and ensure that unbiased, apolitical, objective collection and analysis to support the President and policymakers' decision-making occur. I'll work to end the politicization of the intelligence community and ensure there is a clear mission focus in the IC on its core mission of this unbiased, apolitical collection and analysis of intelligence to secure our nation. I'll work to rebuild trust through transparency and accountability. This is a national security imperative. And I'll work to assess and address efficiencies, redundancies, and effectiveness across ODNI to ensure focus of personnel and resources is on our core mission of national security. Now, in my meetings that I've had with many of you expressed bipartisan frustration about recent intelligence failures as well as the lack of responsiveness to your requests for information. Whether it's the surprise October 7th Hamas terrorist attack, to the sudden takeover of Syria by Islamist extremists, failures to identify the source of COVID, anomalous health incidents, UAPs, drones, and more. If confirmed, I look forward to working with you to address these issues. Ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people is a mandate of leadership that rises above partisan politics. If confirmed, my commitment to the President, to you, and to the American people is this. I will do my very best to find the truth, no matter where it leads, and share that truth with President Trump, his advisors, and you in Congress, providing you with that unbiased, timely, and accurate intelligence as you make the tough decisions that'll impact the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. Now, before I close, I want to warn the American people who are watching at home. You may hear lies and smears in this hearing that'll challenge my loyalty to and my love for our country. Those who oppose my nomination imply that I am loyal to something or someone other than God, my own conscience, and the Constitution of the United States.
I don't want to hear a word about God when it comes to this. I want pure separation of church and state.
Puppet, a guru's puppet, Modi's puppet, not recognizing the absurdity of simultaneously being the puppet of 5 different puppet masters. The same tactic was used.
Bringing your God and your religion to this at all just makes me immediately lose support.
American people elected President
Sorry.
Trump with a decisive decisive victory and mandate for change. The fact is, what
But I
truly
was taught
unsettles
in
my
school,
political
in
opponents is
history, the
that
significant importance of
they're
separation of
puppets.
church and state.
I have no
And when
doubt
you're in
that
this hearing
firsthand
like
the
this right now,
battlefield
you have no reason,
I
no
just
place to
hate Al-Qaeda.
mention,
I hate that
to
your leaders
remotely
who pose a threat
mention
to
your
Islamist
religion or God in
extremists,
any way.
minimizing them to so-called rebels. As Jake Sullivan said to Hillary Clinton, quote, Al-Qaeda is on our side in Syria. Well, Syria is now controlled by an Al-Qaeda offshoot, HTS, led by an Islamist jihadist who danced in the streets on 9/11 and who was responsible for the killing of many American service members. Democrat senators in the past resorted to anti-Christian bigotry against some of President Trump's judicial nominees like Amy Coney Barrett and Brian Boucher. I condemn those actions as a Democrat in Congress at the time, as religious bigotry must be thoroughly condemned by all of us, no matter the religion. Unfortunately, there are some Democrat senators who still don't understand the principle of freedom of religion and Article 6 of the Constitution. Quote, no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States.
Okay, then why are you mentioning
Using the
your,
religious
you know,
bigotry card
your
was
faith in
destroyed
God and
by
all that? Why are you even mentioning it?
religious bigotry against Hindus and Hinduism. If anyone is sincerely interested in knowing more about my own personal spiritual path of Hinduism, I welcome you to go to my account on X, where I'll share more on this topic. If confirmed as Director of National Intelligence, I will continue to live by the oath that I have sworn at least 8 times.
Okay, so she was speaking similar to some of these Christian nationalists, but is not.
I will support and defend our God-given freedoms enshrined in the Constitution of the United States.
I absolutely support someone who follows Hinduism because it's peace above all else, but they have firmness.
And allegiance to the same. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to your questions.
Chairman Crapo, Ranking Member
Now we're back to
Congress
RFK.
Committee. I'm humbled to be
Is this
here
just
today
like?
as President Trump's nominee.
Is this
in
just
office
their
of
their
the
their
Health and
thing on
Human
repeat?
I want to thank President Trump for entrusting me to deliver on his promise to make America healthy.
Yeah, this is. I am so confused. I'm so confused. Why is all this stuff saying it's live when it's not? I do not like this. Like, have they just been streaming this since yesterday? This same thing? It's absolutely important Americans see it, but I want to know what is happening right now.
In the war on terror. This would not be the first or the last time Tulsi put her country above her career. After multiple deployments and serving in the Hawaii City Council, she was elected to the United States House of Representatives, where she served 4 terms. Throughout her political career, she maintained her military service either in the National Guard or the Army Reserve.
Alright, so seeing as apparently all of that is replayed stuff, and I was hoping since it's Monday there would be some new stuff live. We're gonna watch this video from Bernie before we fully switch over to Demon, seeing as it's been almost an hour. I don't think I want to devote more than an hour to pure political stuff today, since it's our first time doing it.
How we best go forward. Well, let me tell you, we've got to be smart, we've got to be organized, and we've got to fight back. This is not a time for wallowing in despair and hiding under the covers. The stakes are just too high. We're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for our kids, for future generations. We're fighting for the future of this planet. In the first 2 weeks of his presidency, Donald Trump defied the Constitution by ending birthright citizenship, fired government watchdogs, allowed drilling along our coastlines, pardoned violent insurrectionists, suspended all foreign aid, and tried to cut off virtually all federal funding. So, how do we go forward? First, to be effective, we've got to understand what, in fact, is happening around us right now. Second, we need a short-term strategy. What do we do tomorrow and the next day and the day after that? Third, we need a long-term strategy. How do we build a movement that gains political power? Here is, in my view, a brief overview as to what is happening under Trump. Most importantly, the move toward oligarchy in our country, government run by the rich and the powerful, is proceeding rapidly. And it's not being done secretly. A little over a week ago, Donald Trump was inaugurated for his second term. Standing right behind him are the three richest men in the world, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg. Men who have become over $200 billion richer since Trump was elected and who now are worth almost $1 trillion more money than the bottom half of American society, 170 million people. But it's not just oligarchy that we should worry about. This country under Trump is moving rapidly toward authoritarianism. Just a few examples. In violation of the Constitution and federal law, Trump attempted the other day to suspend all federal grants and loans. That means he blocked funding for Medicaid, Head Start, food stamps, homeless veterans, etc., etc. Tens of millions of Americans, some of the most vulnerable people in our country, were impacted by that decision. Fortunately, Americans all across the country stood up in outrage and said, no, no. And with the help of the courts, much, but not all of that freeze-in funding was rescinded. You may have noticed that Trump is intimidating the media with lawsuits against ABC, CBS, Meta, and the Des Moines Register. If Trump does not like what media reports, he is threatening them with lawsuits, undermining the First Amendment. That is a direct movement toward authoritarianism. Now, that's a very broad overview of where we are today. In terms of short-term strategy, we've got to mobilize as strongly as we can against Trump's dangerous.
I don't know why that background is showing up over top of me.
This, importantly, yes,
Oh, NVIDIA
Republicans
broadcasts.
control the House and the Senate, but do not forget their majorities are small. In the House, a body of 435 members, they have a 4-vote majority. That is a razor-thin margin, and their legislation can be defeated. There are a number of Republicans out there who won in Democratic districts by small margin. So let me tell you, these guys do respond to phone calls and emails. So if there's a piece of legislation you disagree with, get on the phone and call the Capitol switchboard at 202-224-2131. And what is some of that legislation that we should be concerned about? Republicans right now are working on what's called a budget reconciliation bill, the most important element, which would be a massive tax break for the wealthy to be paid for by large cuts in Medicaid and other programs that working families and low-income people desperately need. At a time of unprecedented income and wealth inequality, when so many of our people are struggling to put food on the table, we must not savage programs for working families to provide huge tax breaks for billionaires. We must vigorously oppose Trump's efforts at mass deportation. Yes, we must strengthen our borders. Yes, we should deport people who have been convicted of serious crimes. But no, we cannot destroy families who have lived and worked in this country peacefully for decades. Not only is Trump's mass deportation program immoral, it will have a severely negative impact on our economy. As all of you know, we are seeing extreme weather disturbances and devastation in our country and all over the world related to climate change. Think about LA, think about North Carolina. We must vigorously oppose this absurd drill, baby, drill doctrine, which will only make an incredibly dangerous climate situation even worse. And those are just a few of the issues that are coming down the pike. But we cannot just play defense. We have got to be on the offense. Please never forget that the agenda that we are fighting for is widely supported by working families all across this country, and we must continue to fight for that agenda. The American people do not want cuts to Medicaid and the privatization of Medicare. They understand that health care is a human right, not a privilege. We must continue the struggle for Medicare for all so that every American has the health care that he or she needs. That's not a radical idea. That's what Americans want. federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour is a starvation wage.
They have broken the
We must
law.
raise that minimum wage to a living wage, at least $17 an hour. If you work 40 hours a week in America, you should not be living in poverty. All over this country, we have a major housing crisis, and it's not just 800,000 who are homeless. It is millions of working families who are spending 40, 50, 60% of their limited incomes on housing. Instead of spending almost $1 trillion a year on a wasteful and bloated Pentagon budget, we have got to build millions of units of low-income and affordable housing. And when we do that, we put large numbers of people to work at good-paying union jobs. I could go on, but let me conclude by saying this. The United States is the wealthiest nation in the history of the world. If we stand and oppose right-wing efforts to divide us up by our race, by our religion, our sexual orientation, or where we were born, if we stand together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. Bottom line, let us go forward and fight for a government and an economy that works for all, not just the few. We simply do not have the luxury of moaning and groaning. We have got to stand up and fight back. We can do it. Let's go forward together. Thank you very much.
Okay. And after looking at Elon Musk's Twitter, we're transitioning. Actually, no, we're gonna watch this. We are gonna watch the Hank Green, John Green. We're gonna watch the John Green crash out. This is a very, very important thing.
Encouragement at the moment. Let me tell you the most encouraging fact I know. So I graduated from high school in 1995, before most of our viewers were born. That is not the encouraging fact. That's actually quite distressing. But anyway, in 1995, over 11 million children died before the age of 5. Last year, fewer than 5 million children died before the age of 5. Since I graduated from high school, overall global child mortality has fallen by well over 50%. Now, it's still far too high. We could reduce it by another 50% with existing technology if we really wanted to. That's actually one of the most discouraging facts I know, is that we could choose to live in a much better world than we're currently choosing, but this is not about being discouraged. Anyway, this progress, which I will argue was not natural or normal or inevitable, represents, I think, the greatest success in human history. We can also understand this as the likelihood of a child dying. In 1800, in the United States, about 46% of all people born died before the age of 5. That's similar to what the rate had been 500 or 5,000 or 50,000 years earlier. 40 years later, by 1840, it had only gone down to 43%. Extremely slow progress. Progress continued throughout the 19th century, albeit slowly thanks to better sanitation, emerging understanding of the germ theory of disease, and so on. But then, in the 20th century, things changed dramatically. In the 40 years between 1920 and 1960, your chances of dying under the age of 5 went from 18% to 3%. And a lot of things had to go right for that to happen. Better pharmaceutical interventions like insulin and antibiotics, safer surgery, lower rates of absolute poverty and malnutrition, lower rates of tuberculosis, and so on. But whether we're talking about the US or globally, none of this happened naturally. It is not natural for the world population to become less hungry or less sick. Our species is around 300,000 years old, and for way over 99% of that time, no meaningful progress was made when it comes to child mortality. None. About 120 billion modern humans have ever lived, and most never saw the age of 20. If you are born in the United States now, you have a 99.1%.
I don't think it's smart to flush lithium down the drain.
After 300,000 years of not being able to
For
get
the sake of getting the copper.
we now
I
know
don't
how
think
to get
that's
99% of people there. Now, there's nothing
smart.
simple about how we reduce
Okay.
child mortality by more than half since I graduated from high school. Some of it is because absolute poverty declined dramatically. In 1995, about 36% of people lived in absolute poverty. Today, about 10% do. And that means people overall are less hungry, which decreases direct deaths from malnutrition, but also decreases the deaths that come from the weakened immune system that accompanies malnutrition. Also, safer circumstances in which to give birth have decreased both maternal and infant mortality. Some small part of the story can be attributed to nonprofit organizations that fund stronger healthcare systems. But one of the central reasons we've seen child mortality go down so much since 1995 is government-funded interventions, including those funded by the US government, like PEPFAR and the Global Fund. PEPFAR, a program aimed at fighting HIV/AIDS in impoverished communities, has been hugely successful, saving over 25 million lives and preventing millions of children from being born HIV positive. And the Global Fund to fight malaria, AIDS, and tuberculosis has also saved literally millions of lives. From an alleviation of suffering perspective, these are some of the best things that we've ever done together as a species, which is why I am so heartbroken that PEPFAR and funding for the Global Fund and almost all other foreign aid has been completely frozen by the new administration in the United States. I talk a lot about how many people still die of tuberculosis, which kills over 1.25 million people each year, even though it's curable and preventable, which is just absolutely unconscionable. But perhaps I don't talk enough about how many people used to die of tuberculosis. In 2000, the year I graduated from college, 2.6 million people died of TB. This means we've reduced TB deaths by over 50% just in the last 25 years. Now, this progress has been far too slow, but it is progress. More affordable tests and treatments can accelerate that progress, as we've started to see in the last couple of years. But I want to be clear, that progress is not guaranteed. It is not natural. We know it's not guaranteed because in rich countries, tuberculosis is actually on the rise. This year, the US will see around 10,000 cases of active tuberculosis, which is a reminder that this is an airborne disease. TB anywhere is a threat to humans everywhere. And we know that if this so-called pause on aid is not amended to exclude diagnostics and medication, many, many people will die. Interrupting the flow of HIV medication can be life-threatening, as can stockouts of TB drugs. Even a couple weeks without TB treatment gives the bacteria a chance to evolve resistance, which makes the infection much more likely to be fatal, but also means there's more drug-resistant tuberculosis circulating. That's a threat to everyone, because again, this progress we've had is not inevitable. It is the result of sustained, ongoing, open-ended funding and collaboration. I really hope that in 30 years I'm able to say that the most encouraging fact I know is that we continued to reduce child mortality throughout my entire lifetime. Continued progress for human health is not natural. It will result or fail to result from human choices. Hank, I'll see you on Friday.
Good morning, John. For a stretch of time, I had the particularly wild gift of being a guy who wrote.
No,
all
this
of
is
the
the okay. This is the Hank Green
Among
crash
all
out.
the lives
Okay,
I've lived, I have 3 studio
Probably.
albums. All of those albums were recorded in the same studio with the same producer, with work and music from the same guy whose name was Schmed or Schmedley or Ryan, depending on who you are. My first 2 albums were just me and Schmed. Everything you hear on it is either me playing a guitar or singing, and everything else is him. And then with my last album, Incongruent, Paul and Joe DeGeorge, Rob Scallon, and Andrew Huang also came out, and we recorded again with Schmed. And also on that album, he added lots of tracks, had lots of weird ideas. We did a lot of fun stuff in that recording session. When I started making music, I had no idea how lucky I was that Schmed lived in my small Montana town. He had this little backyard studio. So many people recorded their stuff there. But the wild thing is, the studio didn't just come with, like, studio. It came with a producer and a multi-instrumentalist session musician. He had experience in so many genres. You want to do something, he will do it. You want to do a polka with a live accordion, Schmed will play the accordion. Do you want a weird bass riff or a slightly off-kilter 2-bar piano break that makes people feel a little uncomfortable? Schmed will do that. You want it to sound like classic rock, you want it to sound like punk, you want it to sound like ska, Schmed will do this. He taught me how to sing harmony.
I gotta rewatch the cutscene at the end of the Taken King.
He only played drums on tracks and then
Damn.
quantized it so that it would actually be on the beat. And he had so much weird stuff in his studio that he had collected from who knows where. On The Universe is Weird, you can hear the timpani that he had in there for some reason. And of course, he also made his own stuff and had his, like, a whole career. He did music for TV shows. If you've ever watched Third Rock from the Sun or that 70s show, you've probably heard some of Schmed's music. And he also had his own band, Secret Powers, that I feel like was
Okay, it must have been on TikTok, the crash out. All right. Time to switch over to gaming. We had our little experiment, our time. It was fun. We'll be doing more. We'll be doing more. I have a lot to prepare. But we'll be doing more. So we'll switch over here. I may get that going. What that is supposed to be is my phone. It's a very weird specific setup the way I had to do it. So I can close Firefox. I no longer need it. Azzacross already ended the stream? That makes sense. That makes sense. It's going to be a very long day tomorrow. Very long day tomorrow. I myself have been live, what, about an hour? We'll probably not go more than 5 today. 5 hours. But yeah, well, I think we're gonna jump into some Warframe. Maybe even jump into some Discord. Oh, that was loud as fuck. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hello, Ben. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Have my interview, I wasn't going to play anything seriously, so I was just mellow farming here. Would you like to join me?
I don't want to play on something that's already established.
What's that?
I don't want to play on something that's already established.
It's not super established. I was just trying to get us close to the point. It literally has a house. I started a hole for you, but I got sick of it and just stopped.
Alright, let me think about it while I make my coffee.
Sure, you do you.
Today's the day. Hello.
The God Run.
Yeah, the God Run. Today's the day.
I just suck so much at making fucking espressos. Like, I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the way that I put